Hi everyone, and you're so much welcome to today's tutorial, and I still remain your shoemaking made easy tutor, Odurole Mojibola. Today I'm going to be showing us how you can uniquely wrap your insole, either for a wedge, either for a flat sole, either for an heel. I'm definitely going to be showing you something you've not seen before right in this video. If you're watching for the first time, you're welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and to press the notification bell so that each time I upload a video, you will be notified. Sit back and I'll be right. All right, today we are going to be looking at this particular sole. I actually bought this way. Yes, with this you don't have to think about creating a shank insole for your heel. I actually bought this exactly like this, so you might have to look for something like this if you don't want to go through the stress of actually inserting shank in the insole of your heel. I bought this at about 1,800 naira. Yes, I think that's about $3 equivalent. Yes, it's about an equivalent of $3. Yeah, as in if you're considering the amount in dollars. So I'm going to be using my plain sheet. Of course, I need a soft one, so I may have to do this. Don't worry, you want to know why? Because I want to be able to arrange it inside it properly. So we're just going to place it right here. I need you to know that this is majorly for somebody who is a beginner. And I want you to actually go through this process because I don't want you to waste material. If you're a beginner, this is a good way to start. So try to arrange it gently. Okay, I need to be sure it's perfectly okay. As you arrange this way, you can decide to use your pen to draw it right in there. As you move that way, use your pen and you move it. So you are going to patiently do all of this, and then you are going to trim it out. This will protect you from actually wasting your material a lot of time when you are working on an already made sole such as what we have here. This is not actually limited to heel. It's not limited to you. You can see the way I keep holding it down, not allowing it to move from where it is, but I keep, trying to balance it up right here. So make sure that you keep holding it down, or else if it shifts one way or the other, you may not be able to get what you want. So with this, I already have a shape. All I'm going to do is trim it. Now, when you are trimming, I'm going to suggest you trim outside the outline, so that in case you did not, perfectly trace a part, at least if it's bigger, you can reduce it. Please don't cut inside the line, especially if you're a beginner and you are not sure of this. So take your time to trim this. Then go ahead and check whether our shape is a normal or abnormal. You can see what it looks like. So this is actually a very good way. You can see that if you look at it, it looks like there is a space by the side inside it. Now, by the time you are cutting out this, all of those will be taken care of. All those small space that seems to be existing by the side here will be taken care of, because by the time you also place it on top of your pattern, or on top of your EVA foam, which is also called Mako here in Nigeria, and you outline it, it will be a bit wider because not on the same spot. You are not trimming on the same spot. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out my EVA foam. So now that we have our templates, I'm going to be using my EVA foam. It's actually a fluffy one, and this is about 4mm actually. But the reason I'm actually using this particular texture is because it's actually a very small size and it's for children. I love it when their inner sole is fluffy. I'm sure parents too love it, so I try to use it for them. I've not been able to lay my hand on the one that is not as thick as this, so I've always used this one. So as you can see now, when I place this, I'm having some excess by the side. So you are going to take your time to actually undo the excess. Please, you can start from this part or you start from the back. It does not matter. So if you want to start from the front, you can see what I have already. Just try to press it down. Please do it at one, as in section by section. Don't try to be in a, or if you cannot see it, please place it again. Section by section like that. I'll insert it and see if there's a difference. Now you can see it's entering. You can see it entered perfectly well at that point. So you keep on moving it and checking. It's still entering. It's still entering. So with what I have here, I think I still have a little bit excess here. Press it. It will inscribe itself there, as in the shape will be there. Can you see the shape? You can see this shape. This one here. Because if you make mistake of making it smaller, you can't use it too. You cannot even manage it. So making it smaller is not an option. So you can see what I have right here. No matter what it looks like. So by the time you find out that it's fitting it this way, so you can go ahead and add your insole cardboard. I'm definitely going to add my insole cardboard. I won't be wrapping this way. I see some people wrap like this, but I don't do that. I try as much as possible to still add my insole cardboard despite the thickness. Now you can decide to use a 2mm thick EVA foam, which is also called Mako in Nigeria, and still use the insole cardboard. Some call the insole cardboard fiber, so probably you might want to ask around you fiber if that's what you want to buy. And this is actually Mako. They call this bouncing Mako, and it's Mako 4, I guess. Although there are some that are not bouncing, like this is quite fluffy. Those ones are not fluffy, they are denser than this. This one is not as dense as some, and they also have the same thickness. So whichever of them you want to use is actually fine. All right, so this is what we're going to be using as our insole cardboard. It's also called fiber. I think they popularly call it fiber. So in case you want to make an order online, this is actually an insole cardboard. Probably you are not. Some call it spongy foam. I mean, this particular one, I just remember some call this spongy foam. So it depends on where you are. Now, I want to quickly let us know that by the time you place your EVA foam, it is also Mako. If you place it, for example, this particular part, let me see, this particular part, this is how it's placed right here. Don't make the mistake of actually when you want to add your insole cardboard, you went and placed your insole cardboard this way. Please don't make that mistake. The part where you use your pen to outline when you were drawing, when you were actually making use of your template, make sure it is that part that is sitting on your sole, whether flat or heel, yeah, whether flat or heel. Now one of the reasons is because if you turn it this way, and make use of it on the other leg of this particular, so you find out that it will be shorter, it doesn't fit it perfectly well. I have actually done this over time and I know it's always not correct, but if you do it and it's correct, fine, but you can avoid having to cut your materials twice as long as you have placed it this way. I mean, now if you look at this, I don't know if you can see my blue pen perfectly well right on it. That is the side that should sit on top of your heel. That's all I want to say. So for me, this is the part I'm going to place this here. Of course, this can't, go this way, but if you turn it this way, it will definitely stay. Ensure you check that it is left and right. No. Check before you now turn it, so that you not end up cutting the same leg or positioning the same leg, because that used to happen very well. You just find that after positioning it, after placing it, that it was the same leg you cut. It's the same leg. What are you going to do about it? I wonder. So me, I used to check, because if I mistakenly turn it this way, for example, it will work, but it's not correct. Yes. Because after it will be the same thing with this one. So maintain it is like this. Mark where you want to apply the gum. Mark where you want to apply the gum as well, because by the time you put it down you can misplace it. At the end of the year, I'm gonna apply a gum on this other side. Raised to power 0. So on your fiber, which is your insole cardboard, apply your contact cement adhesive. I don't cut my own out before application. I see some people do that. If you are a beginner, it's better for you to actually undo it this way, because if at the end of the day it's smaller, it's going to be another issue. So ensure that it's not smaller. If you are going to cut it out, then place it on it. So I'm not doing mine like that. I'll just leave it there and place it on it. So we are also going to do the same thing on our Marco, which is also called the EVA foam. So we are going to allow this to dry. Then we'll go ahead and place and trim. All right, now it's dry. I'm just going to go ahead and then place it. Please don't let it be too dry, so it should not spend longer than necessary there. So please don't hammer this. I always say that if you hammer it, you can deform the surface. So you can hammer at the back just to make it bond properly, and then you trim everything out. You can use, of course, your scissors will definitely do the trimming. So we're going to be using this silver leather for our wrapping. Now, since we are going to be folding it all around it, ensure that you have about 1.5 centimeter allowance all around it, so that by the time you place it on top of it, it can easily cover it. So around 1.5 centimeter to 1.2 centimeter should be enough all around it. So take your time to outline this, you understand. So like I said, please measure. If you are just starting, I'm going to suggest that you measure this. Don't use your height to gauge you, so that it will not end up being smaller than what you need. Although you find out that this is not actually totally accurate, but at least I've tried to extend it all around. So I'm going to apply my contact cement adhesive on it. I think it is popularly called a Vo stick in Nigeria. And we have different brands, so get the brands that is available. Some are really very viscous, while some are less viscous. They look so watery. Please don't go and buy the one that is too watery. When it's dry, just try to place it right down there. ensure that this side is very smooth. Then you can go ahead and apply more all around it. So what do we do now? Let's start from this arc. You can see, please, I'm using my finger to press. Please ensure you do the same thing and don't be in a hurry. Do it with care so that it will be neat. You are not going anywhere. Don't be in a hurry. So if you don't want to use the tips of your finger, you can actually use a pincer and pick it one after the other. One of the mistakes I find people make when it comes to wrapping an insole is they pick so much at a time that it pleats from the edge. When you pick it, you can see it's just little. Don't be in a hurry. Pick it a little at a time and you will find out that your pleat will be right inside and not starting from the edge. If you look at this, you can see how smooth it looks like. Take your time to also pull. If you can't use your finger, like I said, try to use the pincer to actually do that. Now let's come to this part. I always love to take my time to pick it. You can see the way I'm picking it, a little by little. Don't pick a lot like this and try to, it will definitely not be looking neat. So I'll pick a little, pull it properly, pull it. Ensure that your leather too is quite soft, please. You can see how long it took me to finish this small part. But even as at that, you can see the way it looks like. It's not starting from the edge. And if you look at it this way, you can see what this looks like. Can you see how smooth it is? And you cannot even see the pleat at all. If you have to wrap an insole and we can see the pleat bulging out, it means you really need to work on it. So the intention is to make sure the pleat does not start from the edge. So pull it in as much as you can. So another way to actually wrap this edge, you can see what I have here, is to reduce what you have. Reduce it to the barest minimum. So as long as it is small, just all those sides that seems to be bulging out like this, just so after cutting all those sides, then you take your time to make sure you press it in this way. Press it in. Press it in. If you see any side still bulging out again, but please be careful with this particular process, or else you will find out that it will cut beyond what you need. Can you see what this looks like? For this one, I'm going to try to make sure you press it in. Press it in. So this is another way you can actually do this. You can see this does not really have any pleats. That's another way you can do that. So you can do the same thing here, just try to reduce all of this. So you can see what this outrightly looks like. You can see what this looks like. So no one will be seeing the pleats, of course. I'm still going to trim them properly. You can see the way it looks like. On this other side, you can see what it looks like outside. You can see what it looks like. So I want to believe with this you should be able to create your insole perfectly well. So let me know exactly what you have learned from what I have there. What do you do differently from what you saw me do that seems not to be allowing you to get the result you want? Please let me know in the comment section. And then our April weekend shoemaking classes will definitely be starting next week Saturday, which is going to be April 1st if I'm correct. April 1st if I'm correct. So it's going to be starting that Saturday. So go ahead and use the link in the comment section to register. It's actually $3. It's $3 monthly commitment fee. And then what we just do is we teach ourselves how to create designs, how to do work on all these simple techniques, how to do your marketing, how to close your sales, because it's also very important when it comes to your shoemaking process. We literally make it as simple as possible in the weekend class. So it's just 1,500 naira for those in Nigeria, and those outside Nigeria will be paying the equivalent of $3 on a monthly basis. Yeah. So I'm going to see you next time. Bye.